Conor McGregor is making headlines for all the right and wrong reasons. From legal battles to breaking records in Hollywood, the former UFC champion is at the center of public attention. Did the former champion apologize in court after the verdict? And with his return to the octagon rumored for 2025, will he overcome these controversies to reclaim his legacy? Find all the details in this video. Civil jury rules against McGregor. In 2018, Irish mixed martial arts star Conor McGregor was found guilty by a jury in Dublin of assaulting a woman at a party. The jury decided that McGregor must pay the victim, Nikita Hand, nearly $250,000 in damages. This decision was made after 6 hours of deliberation during a civil trial at Ireland's High Court. Hand alleged that McGregor sexually assaulted her on December 9, 2018, after meeting him at a party following her work Christmas event. She claimed that McGregor took her and a friend to a penthouse party at a hotel in South Dublin, where drugs and alcohol were present. Hand stated that McGregor led her to a bedroom and assaulted her. McGregor, however, denied the allegations, saying their encounter was consensual and denying that he caused her injuries. Evidence presented in court included testimony from a doctor who examined Hand the day after the incident. The doctor found her injuries serious enough to take photographs. While another man, James Lawrence, was also accused of assaulting Hand, the jury found he did not harm her. After the trial, McGregor left without commenting, but later announced on social media that he would appeal the decision. Hand expressed gratitude for the support she received and urged other victims of sexual assault to speak up, emphasizing the importance of fighting for justice. Other than this, McGregor has faced legal trouble in the past. In March 2019, he was arrested in Miami Beach after allegedly smashing a fan's phone and walking away with it. According to police, McGregor slapped the phone out of the fan's hand, stomped on it, and caused $1,000 in damage. He was booked on charges of robbery and criminal mischief. Nikita Hand revealed that a masked gang broke into her home. The incident happened on June 14th, before the civil court found McGregor guilty of assaulting Hand in December 2018. The court heard that the masked men smashed windows and entered Hand's home. Her boyfriend managed to drive them away but was stabbed in the process. Hand's daughter was asleep in the next room. While Hand's lawyer, John Gordon, did not claim McGregor was behind the attack, he suggested it might have been carried out by his supporters and highlighted how it affected Hand's anxiety and forced her to move out of her home in Drimnar. McGregor's lawyer argued that the incident had nothing to do with the case and called it an invitation for speculation. The judge agreed, ruling the incident irrelevant to the trial. Gardaí confirmed they were investigating the break-in, and Hand's boyfriend received treatment for non-life-threatening injuries. On Friday, McGregor denied Hand's claims, stating they were fabricated to cover up her cheating on her boyfriend. He said he would appeal the court's decision, describing the damages award as modest and reiterating that the jury only found him guilty of assault, not aggravated damages. He also expressed disappointment that the jury didn't hear all the evidence previously reviewed by Ireland's Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, which decided not to pursue the criminal case in 2020 due to insufficient chances of conviction. Hand accused McGregor of brutally raping and battering her in December 2018 at a Dublin hotel. McGregor insisted their encounter was consensual. During the trial, the judge emphasized that submission does not equal consent and that drinking or taking drugs doesn't imply consent to sex. Ireland's Justice Minister, Helen McEntee, praised Hand for her courage, saying her case highlighted the importance of seeking justice and offered hope to other survivors. The Dublin Crisis Centre also commended the case for helping clarify the meaning of consent in Irish law. Nikita Hand said she always believed she would win because she was telling the truth. After the trial, she shared that the victory meant her young daughter could grow up in a world where speaking out matters. Hand admitted feeling exhausted after the high-profile trial, but said she was overwhelmed by the messages of support she received.
Stand up for yourself. If something happens to you, no matter who the person is, and justice will be served. To all the victims of sexual assault, I hope my story is a reminder that no matter how afraid you might be, speak up, you have a voice, and keep on fighting for justice.
Hand said she trusted her story even though the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, had decided in 2020 not to pursue criminal charges, citing insufficient evidence for a conviction. She felt disappointed then, but stayed determined to seek justice through a civil case, where the standard of proof is lower than in criminal trials. Conor McGregor denied the allegations and announced plans to appeal the decision. He made several heated social media posts, calling Hand a liar and accusing the trial trial of being unfair. He highlighted that his co-accused, James Lawrence, was cleared of any wrongdoing. McGregor insisted he would fight the ruling and claimed the verdict was based on opinions rather than hard evidence. The trial focused on an incident in December 2018 when Hand alleged McGregor assaulted her at a Dublin hotel. The jury awarded damages for her suffering, lost earnings, medical expenses, and future income loss, totaling nearly $250,000. No aggravated or exemplary damages were given. The jury's decision relied on the balance of probabilities, meaning they only needed to decide what was more likely to have happened. Hand said the outcome was important not just for her, but for other victims, showing that justice is possible. She hopes her case will encourage others to speak out and keep fighting for what's right. Justice Minister Helen McEntee praised Hand's bravery, saying her actions highlighted the support available to survivors of assault. Taoiseach Simon Harris personally thanked Hand for her courage and expressed solidarity with her. The Dublin Crisis Centre supported Hand and emphasised that civil cases could offer a path to justice when criminal trials aren't pursued. During the trial, calls to their helpline rose by 20%, with a 50% increase in first-time callers. Advocacy groups have called for a review of the DPP's decision not to prosecute, but Hand has avoided commenting on whether new evidence might lead to a criminal trial. For her, the focus is now on recovering and moving forward after the verdict. Now that we've covered the trial details and Nikita Hand's statements, let's take a look at who Nikita Hand is and how Conor McGregor has reacted online to the verdict. McGregor sparks controversy with online rant. Nikita Hand, the woman who accused MMA superstar Conor McGregor of sexual assault, won her civil case in the Irish court. The case centered around Hand's claim that McGregor brutally raped and battered her in December 2018 after a night of partying. McGregor, now 36, denied the accusation, saying their encounter was consensual. The verdict, delivered by the jury, left McGregor shaking his head in court. Hand is a 35-year-old from Dublin who used to work as a hairdresser. She told the court that the assault severely impacted her mental health, leaving her unable to work since. The incident also affected her personal life, ending her relationship and forcing her to move out of her home in Drimnagh, where her mortgage is now in arrears. The court also heard that she had spent over $4,000 on therapy, medical, and pharmacy costs. In addition to these struggles, Hand experienced further trauma in June when masked men broke into her home and stabbed her partner. This incident, she said, added to her anxiety and contributed to her decision to leave her home. McGregor, one of the most famous fighters in UFC history, announced he would appeal the decision. In a statement posted online, he expressed disappointment that the jury did not hear all the evidence and said he is now focusing on his future with his family. After the 8-day civil trial, Conor McGregor took to social media in a heated response after being found liable for sexually assaulting Nikita Hand in a Dublin hotel in 2018. The jury also cleared a second defendant, James Lawrence, of any wrongdoing. McGregor, 36, admitted during the trial that he had consensual sex with Hand and took cocaine with her. However, after the verdict, he posted a series of angry messages on Twitter X, calling Hand a vicious liar and accusing the court of bias. He claimed the trial was based on feelings and opinions rather than evidence, labeling it a kangaroo court. McGregor also expressed support for James Lawrence, celebrating his exoneration and criticizing the handling of the case, which he described as disgraceful. McGregor's posts accused the court and media of ignoring evidence that he believed disproved Hand's claims. He questioned the jury's decisions and mocked Hand's original allegations, which he said included claims of being gang-raped by security staff. He vowed to continue fighting the verdict, repeatedly calling for an appeal and asserting that justice would ultimately prevail. After the trial, Ireland's Justice Minister Helen McEntee praised Nikita Hand for her courage and determination after winning a civil case against MMA fighter Conor McGregor. Hand accused McGregor of raping her in a Dublin hotel in 2018. The High Court awarded her nearly $250,000 in damages. Despite the verdict, McGregor has announced plans to appeal. Justice Minister McEntee commended Hand for showing that justice is possible even in difficult situations. She said Hand's actions demonstrate there is light at the end of the tunnel and that support is available for those who seek justice. McEntee also highlighted Hand's leadership during what has been a challenging time for her and her family. Hand's case included allegations against another man, James Lawrence, but the jury found he did not assault her. Outside court, Hand expressed her hope that her case would inspire other victims of assault to continue fighting for justice. Reflecting on the 6 years since the incident, she described the experience as a nightmare, but emphasized the importance of standing up for yourself, no matter who the accused is. She said she wanted to show her daughter, Freya, and others that justice can be achieved. Hand previously criticized the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, for not pursuing criminal charges in her case. The DPP stated in 2020 that there was insufficient evidence for a conviction. Hand requested a review of this decision, believing she was treated differently because of McGregor's fame. McEntee defended the independence of the DPP, stating it is essential that political interference does not influence decisions. She noted that individuals can request an explanation of the DPP's decisions and mentioned that her ministry has prioritized focusing on sexual offenses through a dedicated office. After Nikita Hand won her civil case against Conor McGregor, the next step involves the High Court deciding who will pay the trial costs, which are estimated to exceed $1 million. This hearing is scheduled for later this week. McGregor, unhappy with the jury's decision, has already announced plans to appeal and has shared his dissatisfaction online, though many of his posts were later deleted. The trial, which lasted 2.5 weeks, focused on Hand's allegations that McGregor raped her in a Dublin hotel in 2018. The jury awarded her nearly $250,000 in damages, but McGregor has dismissed the verdict, calling the process biased and based on feelings rather than facts. He also emphasized that the jury did not award aggravated or exemplary damages, which he believes weakens the case against him. During the trial, McGregor's behavior on the stand was a key factor. His comments and gestures, including crude remarks and descriptions of the encounter, seemed to alienate the jury. At one point, he accused Hand of lewd behavior in a taxi, a claim the judge instructed the jury to disregard as it had no evidence to support it. McGregor's lawyers even acknowledged the negative impact of his testimony and urged the jury to separate their feelings about him from the facts of the case. The trial also included testimony about medical evidence. A doctor who examined Hand described her injuries as moderate to severe, including bruising and a possible internal tear. The presence of a tampon, which McGregor and his friend James Lawrence denied seeing, was another point of discussion. Experts explained it had been pushed so far up that it required removal with medical tools. McGregor and Lawrence relied heavily on CCTV footage of Hand after the alleged assault, claiming her behavior did not align with her allegations. However, the judge reminded the jury to focus on evidence and not make assumptions about how a victim should behave. The judge also clarified that submission does not equal consent, and that intoxication can impair a person's ability to give consent. On the final day of the trial, McGregor arrived at court with his fiancée, Dee Devlin, and was supported by family and friends. He appeared visibly stressed during the jury's deliberation and was shocked when the verdict was announced. Afterward, McGregor and his entourage left without answering questions from the press. Hand, on the other hand, expressed relief and gratitude after the verdict. She thanked those who supported her and encouraged other victims of sexual violence to speak out and fight for justice. However, her ordeal is not over. Her lawyers revealed that she had to leave her home in June after masked intruders broke in and stabbed her boyfriend. While they did not accuse McGregor directly, they suggested the incident was related to his supporters. The upcoming hearing on trial costs will also likely address McGregor's and Lawrence's social media posts following the verdict. For now, the case remains unresolved as McGregor prepares to appeal and the court decides on financial responsibilities. Now that we've covered Conor McGregor's social media rants and the next legal steps in the case, let's move on to what lies ahead for McGregor. UFC Lifeline awaits McGregor in 2025. Conor McGregor may still have a future in the UFC despite losing a civil sexual assault case and being ordered to pay $250,000 in damages. UFC President Dana White is reportedly considering giving McGregor another opportunity, although his career is currently on hold due to the stigma surrounding the case. Sources say McGregor remains a big draw for the organization, but his return might be delayed until the controversy settles. McGregor has not fought since July 2021, when he lost to Dustin Poirier, and he has been vocal about wanting to return to the octagon. Dana White recently suggested McGregor's comeback could happen in late 2025. McGregor himself has expressed frustration over delays in his fighting schedule, stating he aims for 2 fights in 2025 and is ready for any opponent. Despite the ongoing legal controversy, UFC insiders believe McGregor's star power could eventually bring him back into the spotlight. For now, his future in the sport remains uncertain, with his appeal and reputation hanging in the balance. After a series of legal battles, Conor McGregor has stepped into a new venture, promoting box Box Bollen, a gamified fitness product that is gaining popularity. Despite losing a civil case to Nikita Hand, McGregor posted a video showcasing the product on Instagram. In the video, he demonstrated the latest Irish-themed boxing ball and challenged other celebrities, claiming the highest score among them. This endorsement places McGregor alongside big names like the Kardashians, Will Smith, and John Jones, who have also promoted the brand. Box Bollen's marketing strategy heavily relies on celebrity endorsements, which have proven effective in disrupting the $244 billion fitness market. The company's founders, Jacob and Victor Eriksson, believe that working with high-profile figures leads to greater visibility and results. For instance, Khloe Kardashian's video promoting the product became her second most viewed Instagram reel, garnering 29 million views. While McGregor focuses on these new ventures, his legal issues remain unresolved. The recent case involved accusations by Nikita Hand, who claimed that McGregor assaulted her during a 2018 party at a Dublin hotel. Hand testified that the incident left her unable to work, strained her relationships, and affected her mental health. The jury ruled in Hand's favor, awarding damages, though McGregor has announced plans to appeal. He expressed disappointment with the decision, stating, "I will be appealing today's decision. The judge's instruction and the modest award given was for assault, not for aggravated or exemplary damages. I am with my family now, focused on my future." Despite his legal troubles, McGregor's potential UFC return is still being discussed. UFC President Dana White has suggested McGregor could fight again in late 2025. Although his career has been on hold since his last UFC match in 2021, his drawing power remains significant. White hinted that McGregor's return is not off the table, but the current stigma surrounding his legal issues makes an immediate comeback unlikely. The ongoing controversy has damaged McGregor's reputation. Many in the MMA community have criticized him, and his legal case has overshadowed his other ventures. However, McGregor seems determined to rebuild his image and keep pursuing opportunities in fitness, endorsements, and eventually a return to the octagon. For now, his appeal and the fallout from the case continue to shape public perception, but his endorsement of Box Bollen shows that he is not stepping out of the spotlight anytime soon. Conor McGregor has caused further controversy following his loss in a civil case by engaging in a heated exchange with Jake Paul on social media. Jake Paul, one of McGregor's rivals, reacted to the court ruling by tweeting, "Dana hits his wife. Conor's convicted of but I'm the bad guy." In response, McGregor posted a homophobic insult, referring to Paul as a little gay nerd. Paul quickly criticized McGregor, calling out his offensive remark and suggesting it reflected poorly on his character. McGregor later deleted the post, but it drew backlash online. After the court decision, Hand spoke to the media, expressing hope that her case would inspire other survivors to seek justice. She encouraged those who felt afraid to speak out and thanked her family and friends for their unwavering support. Hand's case against another man, James Lawrence, who was accused of non-consensual sex during the same incident, was dismissed by the jury. Conor McGregor recently teased his MMA comeback despite the ongoing legal troubles surrounding his civil case. On Instagram, he shared a photo of himself mid-training with the caption, "Last camp, next camp," sparking excitement and speculation among fans and the fighting community about his return to the octagon. McGregor hasn't fought since 2021 and has expressed frustration over the delays, but he remains determined to step back into the ring. During a past interview, McGregor emphasized his readiness, stating, "My job is to go to the gym and be in shape whenever it is and wherever it is. I will be 100% ready." UFC President Dana White has hinted that McGregor's return might happen in late 2025, with McGregor expressing plans to fight twice that year. He's mentioned Michael Chandler as a potential opponent, given their history as opposing coaches on The Ultimate Fighter 31. However, no official opponent has been announced yet. Michael Chandler is facing tough times after his recent loss to Charles Oliveira at UFC 309, marking his fourth defeat in his last 5 fights. Chandler, known for his explosive and entertaining fighting style, struggled as Oliveira controlled most of the fight, winning 4 out of 5 rounds. In the final round, Chandler landed some powerful shots that briefly put Oliveira in trouble, but the Brazilian fighter managed to recover, take Chandler down, and secure a decisive victory. Chandler's latest setback adds to his challenges, including his long wait for a potential fight against Conor McGregor. After coaching opposite McGregor on The Ultimate Fighter 31, Chandler has repeatedly called for the fight to happen, but McGregor's return keeps getting delayed, now rumored to be pushed back to late 2025. Chandler, while lobbying for the lucrative matchup, expressed his frustration, saying McGregor needs to either return or retire. However, critics argue that Chandler's focus on waiting for McGregor is costing him other big opportunities in his career. With a 2-4 record in the UFC, he risks falling further behind while staying inactive. Fans and analysts are now suggesting other potential matchups for Chandler, including a fight against Max Holloway, who recently announced his move to the lightweight division. A clash between Chandler and Holloway, both known for their aggressive styles and entertaining fights could be a crowd pleaser. For now, Chandler remains determined to secure the McGregor fight, but whether that will happen or if he'll explore other opportunities remains uncertain. As he continues to face setbacks, Chandler's next move will be crucial in defining the future of his UFC career. While fans eagerly await his return, McGregor's legal issues remain a significant obstacle. The recent court ruling against him has impacted his public image and added weight to his already busy schedule of business commitments. Despite this, McGregor's influence in the MMA world ensures that his comeback will draw massive attention whenever it happens. Dana White, speaking after UFC 309, mentioned that McGregor is eager to return and contacts him regularly about potential fights. White suggested a late 2025 return, though earlier would be welcome if possible. McGregor himself expressed his frustration over delays and his desire to fight twice in 2025, calling it the promised land. He indicated that he was ready to fight anyone, with Chandler being a preferred opponent. McGregor last fought in 2021, suffering a broken leg during a match against Dustin Poirier. His injury and legal issues have kept him out of the octagon since then. Despite the setbacks, McGregor has consistently voiced his determination to stay in shape and return stronger. Conor McGregor has made a splash in Hollywood with his role in the Roadhouse remake, where he plays an over-the-top villain named Knox. The film has been a commercial success, breaking Prime Video records with over 50 million viewers worldwide in its first 2 weekends. It also benefited from strategic marketing, including in-show integration with ESPN, UFC promotions, and sponsorship during UFC 299. McGregor's performance in the movie is being praised as entertaining, and it opens doors for more acting roles in the future. His marketability remains undeniable, making him a valuable asset to the organization, even when he isn't actively fighting. UFC CEO Dana White and parent company CEO Ari Emanuel recognize McGregor's unparalleled drawing power and are unlikely to let him leave for free agency. McGregor also understands his value, leveraging it as negotiations for his next steps unfold. Despite the controversy, McGregor continues to be a walking advertisement for the UFC, proving his worth with the success of ventures like Roadhouse. Fans and UFC officials alike now await news of his fight date, contract extension, and next career move. After the civil case verdict, McGregor shared on social media that he plans to appeal the decision, expressing disappointment that not all evidence reviewed by the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, was presented to the jury. He referred to the damages awarded as modest and clarified that they were for assault, not aggravated or exemplary damages. In his statement, McGregor said he is now focusing on his family and future while preparing for the appeal. If you like this video, hit on any cards showing on your screen for amazing content.